So Christo Wiese is a retailing tycoon from South Africa. And what makes him interesting is he was on the Forbes Billionaires list and our list of richest Africans up until 2018. And then this huge Enron-like accounting scandal happened at his major asset, which is called Steinhoff International. That knocked him off the billionaires list starting in March of 2018, and now he's back on the list. Wiese was worth $5.6 billion in early 2017. By the time this accounting scandal was revealed in the end of 2017, in December 2017, the shares of Steinhoff fell like 90%. I mean, he lost almost all the value. So Wiese's fortune fell first down to like $1.1 billion, and then he fell off the list altogether by March of 2018. So the Steinhoff was kind of interesting. It was founded by a German who was building furniture, and he was sourcing from East Germany. This is before the wall was still up between East and West Germany, and he was sourcing from East Germany and selling to all over. And then he heard that a lot of wood was growing in South Africa, so he went to South Africa to see if he could get the supplies for furniture from there, and then he got into doing furniture retail in South Africa. And so there was a German billionaire, Bruno Steinhoff, also tied to this company. But Steinhoff kept its European operations, and that's where most of the fraud allegedly was happening. So Wiese was the chairman of Steinhoff, not the CEO. An outside forensic audit by Pricewaterhouse, PwC, found that he was not involved in the accounting fraud at all. Essentially, he came in, after it had been going on for years. The person who's going to be tried, apparently in Germany, reportedly in Germany, in April, is the former CEO, this guy Markus Justa. And he apparently organized most of the fraud, according to what I've read. Most of it happened in the European arm of this company. So the thing that kind of sticks in my brain is I read this really interesting book called Steinheist, which is about the accounting fraud at Steinhoff. And it points out that in 2007, an analyst at the South African arm of JP Morgan put out a 56-page report highlighting the accounting issues and questions and concerns about transactions with Steinhoff. And then 2 years later, in 2009, the book recounts a meeting that Wiese had with another analyst at another firm who had a 40-slide presentation detailing his concerns about shoddy transactions, suspiciously low tax rates, all kinds of things that didn't really add up. And so in a sense, I feel like Wiese was warned that there was something amiss with this company. But yet, 6 years after he met with his analyst, he sold his company to Steinhoff anyway. I don't mean to say he had it coming to him, but it's sort of interesting what we choose to pay attention to and what we choose to ignore. I think when people have questions, it's good to kind of follow your instincts on these questions and pay attention to the doubters. So in addition to his settlement with Steinhoff that gives him cash and shares in the company, in Pepkor, in the clothing chain, he's got about 10% of ShopRite, the supermarket chain that's like a Walmart of Southern Africa. And he's also got holdings in a few other companies. One of them is called Invicta, which is listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange and has investments in China, Singapore, and the UK. Another firm, Tradehold, has industrial businesses in South Africa and also commercial property in the UK. And then he's got a Luxembourg-listed firm called Brait, which owns stakes in the Virgin Active health clubs and in two South African firms, a fashion label and a consumer goods business. Most of those investments are not nearly as valuable right now as his ShopRite stake, which is the most valuable thing he owns right now. Wiese is 81 years old. He basically said that he was shocked that this fraud made it past all of these gatekeepers, the internal auditors, the external auditors, the South African Reserve Bank, the foreign banks that were lending money to Steinhoff. For somebody whose fortune got mostly wiped out in 2018, and he went through 4 years of a lawsuit before a settlement, he seems pretty much at peace with the world.